You defy a lot of people's excuses. They can't lose weight because of their age.
Okay, I'm 61.
Was there a specific moment like, hey, I really do need to
And I
change?
said, you know what? The reason why I haven't started when you first start, that's when your head plays a lot of games. Okay? And so that's what I tell people. I say, one night you're going to go like, whoa, what happened?
Hey everyone, so I recently sat down with my good friend James. He's 61 years old and his story is quite amazing. Back in January, he weighed 210, maybe 215, and today he's a solid 155. And so if you think about it, that's a whopping 55 pounds. And that's something a lot of people would love to do for themselves. So I wanted to talk to him on how he did it. So I'm hoping that you listen through this conversation that we had and maybe learn and start your health and fitness journey and be inspired by him.
James, I wanted to interview you because you defy a lot of people's excuses. So one of the excuses that a lot of people say is because they can't lose weight because of their age or because of how big they've gotten. And the other one is people always talk about like how long they've tried to lose weight and they would lose weight but then gain it back. You've done it for so long now that I wanted to kind of tell the story of how you did it, right? So before any of that, just tell me about yourself, how old you are, how long you've been trying to lose weight, and then what was the biggest that you ever gotten?
Okay, I'm 61. The longest that
Longest you've been trying to lose weight?
trying to lose weight. Actually, I didn't start till like around January of this year, 2025. I've been thinking about it for a while. I've done this before where I've lost weight and I got in semi good shape, but then I've always just kind of went back to my old ways and started putting the weight
what was
down.
the highest?
The most I've ever
heaviest?
weighed, probably like 215 to 220.
And so where are you at now? What's your weight now?
I'm at 155.
155. So you started in January. Now you're 155.
Right.
What is that, like 50 pounds?
Something like
That's
that. You do
something
the math.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
So when you were like 210, 215, like how did that kind of make you feel inside?
Well, first of all, mentally, it was kind of demoralizing for me because I know where I've been, and to be at that weight was just kind of like a confidence beater, or, you know, it tore me down. I didn't feel comfortable wearing the clothes that I had. It was a struggle to put my shoes on, you know, dumb stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, and if I had to clean something off the floor, instead of bending over to get it, I'd get the broom and scoop it up, you know, because it was just, you know, it was a chore to bend over.
Well, I know how you feel. I mean, like when I weighed, my heaviest was 185, and I would have to hold my breath just to tie my shoelace. You know, so I
So you
understand
get the
that.
idea.
Yeah, and it's painful because sometimes I'll get a cramp in my stomach, you know, doing that. Now, was there like a specific moment when you were like, hey, I really do need to change. Like, let me do something.
Well, I teetered with the idea for a while, up until just before January. Well, in fact, I think it was when we were on a bike ride and
Yeah.
I showed up at the ferry landing and go, hey, how would you be interested in doing this and this? And I kind of like, you know, toss it in my head. I go, yeah, I've done it before. I know how to do it. I don't need you, Daryl. I can do it. But I thought about it. I stewed over it for a little while, and I said, you know what? The reason why I haven't started is because I lacked the motivation. I lacked accountability.
So what was the difference between what you're doing now versus what you did before?
I'm following a pretty good program. Before, I was up and down. You know, instead of following and being consistent on one program, I was up and down. Oh, you know, a little bit of a cheat here or a shortcut here.
But would you say that this program is a lot more sustainable and more?
Oh yeah.
it easy?
And what it's all about is the fellowship, the people that I'm around.
Yeah.
We're all in the same journey, so it makes it easier to stay on track. A lot easier.
So it's been like 6 months now, right? So actually 6 months would be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Your sixth month. So
Been that long?
yeah,
Wow.
it's June 1st tomorrow.
Oh, amazing.
It's crazy. Yeah, I know. So like now that you know what you've done, would you say that it's something that's easily done by other people? Can they easily do it?
Well, yeah, but you know what? It's easy, but when you first start, that's when your head plays a lot of games. You know, oh, I got to give up this or I got to give up that. And then you put all these mental obstacles in your head and you don't do it.
So what's your daily routine? Like, what is it that you've done that's helped you lose a lot of fat? Not weight, because there's a big difference
Right.
between losing weight and losing fat, right?
Right.
So what is it that you did that made you lose a lot of fat?
Well, I changed first of all, my patterns. I get up in the morning. The first thing I do is I go to the office. I have my cup of coffee with my MCT.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't eat until about 9 o'clock. Because the way I figured it, I budgeted my eating based on my day.
Okay.
Okay, so then my first meal, or what I like to say is my break fast, is at 9 o'clock. And I'm always usually right on the nose. Okay, and then I'll have my breakfast. And then I won't eat again. I'll have like maybe my first snack right before lunch. It'll consist of maybe some kind of fruit. I like apples.
Yeah.
Apples is cottage cheese. And then lunch, I'll break into lunch. See, I'm giving all my secrets. I don't like to put it all out there, but I'll
Well, you're right. I mean, we can just generalize it. So.
I'll go down the street to deli, and they already know because they're used to me coming there every day, and it's the same thing. They see me come in, and they're like, "Yep." They point at me, the same thing.
Yeah.
I have sourdough with turkey, no mayo. I like mustard and lettuce, tomato.
Good.
You know, and cut it in half.
Do you count your protein?
Yeah. Well, pretty close. Before, in the beginning, I was more, strict with my numbers. But it's gotten to the point now where I eat the same things all the time. So
it's become routine.
It's pretty close that I'm going to be on the same numbers.
Okay.
That's why I simplify it that way. Is I'm not playing around with my food and the numbers.
Yeah.
I did that in the beginning, and it was a little bit, difficult, tasking, because you had to keep an eye on that. But once you get it down to a science where you're eating the same thing all the time every day, you should be pretty close. You follow the same routine each day. It's a good chance you're going to do it again the next day.
So what would you tell people that are kind of like they were in the same boat as you were, right? Someone who thinks that it's too late because how old they are. People always think that your metabolism slows down when you get older. And then there's also that myth where, if you're too big, it's hard to kind of really lose the fat. You just go up and down. What do you tell people that are in that situation so that they could get the courage to ask for help and actually get started?
That's a really tough one because, see, I work in the gym industry, and I see people come in and go, and then they come in my class. For example, I do the spin classes, and they're overweight. You can see they haven't been on any kind of weight loss or even any kind of fitness journey in a long time.
Yeah.
And now they've come into my class, and the first thing they say is this hard? I said, it only is going to be as hard as you make it. You know what I mean? The class is simple. My routines are simple. And there's a good chance that if, you keep coming consistently, it's going to get easier and easier.
Okay.
And so that's what I tell people. I say in the beginning, yes, it's hard. But once you build that routine and you get used to doing what you're doing or doing this, getting into the fitness cycle, things get easier for you. Not only does it get easier, but you feel better, you get in shape, you'll notice a difference in your clothing. It doesn't matter. Even the slightest little change is going to make a big difference.
And it's not too late, no matter how old you are.
No, it's never too late. I've got a guy in my class right now. I can see him. His name is Jacobo. He's like 75 years old. And I get advice from this old guy all the time. I don't mean to say old guy because he's my hero. He's one of the founders of the cycling club called PRT. And he comes at me, he said, hey, why don't you try this routine? Why don't you try this routine? And
I know the guy, he's strong.
Yeah. And I love him because he comes in and at the end of the class, he'll come and critique me. And I say, that's how you're staying this way. He goes, longevity. Yeah, and the longevity comes from continually doing it. He says, even when you feel your worst,
Yeah.
this is what he told me, and I remember it really clearly. Even when you're feeling the worst, it's a good chance that's when you need to come here the most.
That makes sense.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That
know?
makes sense.
Yeah, and then you'll feel so much better when you're done and
Yeah.
you can leave. You know, and I said, is that the trick to the fountain of youth? He goes, that helps. I'm like, okay.
Well, all right. Well, again,
So-
this is James's story. If you want to know more how he did it, we wrote it down in a doc. Just message us, and I'll send you the link, and you can download exactly how they did it, and it's free. There's other people doing it now, and they're doing great. And we'll probably do another interview with the other people that are actually doing this. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks,
And number
James.
one, too, before
Yeah.
I cut off,
Okay.
don't be discouraged.
Don't be discouraged.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because in the beginning, progress is slow, but if you keep doing what you're doing, you stay on that plan, man, it's going to happen. Overnight, one night, you're going to go like, whoa, what happened? You know, and that's what happened to me. I went from 38 pants down to a 29. And there was a point in time where it just, I couldn't keep it on. You know, it's just, it felt like every other week I was buying a new belt or some pants.
Well, that's the curse, right?
Yeah.
you have to buy new clothes.
And it's funny because now I only own, I own 2 pairs of pants that actually fit. And the other day I was going through my closet trying to get rid of clothes because I have stockpiles of jeans that go from anywhere from 38 to 29. And I'm like, what should I do with all
What are
this?
you gonna do with those?
I don't know. Donate it.
Donate.
But I have this, I'm a hoarder.
No, you know you have to donate it. But you gotta let go of your old. You gotta shed of your own skin, right?
Yeah.
Let it go. That's not who you are anymore.
Yeah, but like I said, just stay with it. Don't get discouraged. And if you're on that same path and you stick to the path,
You'll do it.
yeah, you'll do
get
it.
it done.
Good things will happen.
All right. Well, thanks, James.
Peace. Bring me my fries. I saw those things. I ordered my eye.